PTG Nation, thank you so much for tuning into the show. It is World Cup time, and this episode of the PTG show is brought to you by HK Army. The biggest paintball event in the history of the sport is just around the corner, and HK Army has the paint deal you cannot miss with $20 cases of paint for the whole squad. Yup, you heard me right. HK Army is back at it again, providing that top-tier pink shell, yellow fill paint for only $20 a case to ensure you dominate your competition at World Cup. Do not sleep on this opportunity because once it is gone, and it's going to sell out. Head on over to hkarmy.com/NXLpaint right now and reserve your paint today. Once again, that is hkarmy.com/NXLpaint to secure $20 cases of paint for World Cup from HK Army. This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same-day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram at Lone Wolf PB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community. This episode of the PTG show is brought to you by Andrew Lopez Law Professional Corporation, a California injury lawyer, and they are on a mission to get justice for their injury victims. Andrew Lopez Law provides comprehensive services from car accidents to slip and falls and handle a wide range of personal injury cases with expertise. Their recent victories include a $2.6 million jury verdict, a $560,000 settlement against a rideshare company, and with their expert legal representation, you can trust that a dedicated personal injury trial lawyer with years of experience will be fighting for your rights. Andrew Lopez Law is a family-run law firm with free consultations, personalized attention, compassionate support to guide you through every step, a proven track record. They're available 24/7, will work tirelessly to maximize your compensation you deserve, and they work with a no-win, no-fee policy, so you don't pay unless they win your case, which ensures you receive justice without the financial risk. If you're in need of an injury lawyer, then look no further and call Andrew Lopez Law PC at 213-474-1100 for your free consultation. And once again, that number is 213-474-1100. And also follow Andrew Lopez Law on Instagram at Andrew Lopez Law PC. And once again, their Instagram handle is Andrew Lopez Law PC. One last time, that number is 213-474-1100 for Andrew Lopez Law to fight for your injuries.
What's going on, PTG Nation? Thank you guys so much for tuning in and rocking with us. My goodness, what an epic World Cup. Wow. Dynasty didn't win. Heat didn't win. But Paintball Fit came in their rookie season, made history. First rookie team to win a World Cup ever. And we have the MVP of the entire tournament, Cyrus Garringer, on the show. What an epic conversation, what a miraculous individual, and what a historic victory. Without further ado, let's hop in the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
Welcome, world, to the PTG show. It is the week after World Cup, and we have the MVP and the World Cup champion, none other than Cyrus the Virus Garringer, and he's in the house.
Baby.
Are you not entertained?
What's up,
Are
boys?
you not entertained? Let's go. How you doing, bro?
Doing great.
Oh yeah, he's on cloud 9 right now. Still in Orlando, breathing in that championship air. Oh man, what a life.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so let's talk about what have the last 48 hours been like, man. Obviously pretty spectacular. Congratulations to you and PB Fit for
absolutely.
winning in historic fashion and done something that has never been done before in our sport.
Yeah, the past 48 hours have been pretty insane. I mean, from when we won to, I don't know, being dehydrated already and drinking just a little bit of alcohol and making it really, I felt it fast.
Painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
I like, and
it's so tough.
those cold waters are dangerous too, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I drank like half of one of those and I was like already feeling tipsy. And then I got handed like 4 cigars. So in between that, I was definitely feeling it. And then we didn't do anything special. I guess we're just kind of like a middle class kind of team. So we just like packed the trailer and then went home to our coach cooks for us. So he cooked dinner. Like we didn't go to Charlie's or anything. Everyone was telling us to do it. I'm like, I don't got Charlie's money.
You guys won 40 grand. You guys definitely had Charlie's money.
Yeah, but we want to throw that back into the team, right? Not in one
I
dinner.
love that.
So
Oh man, I love that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, that's incredible. And you know, the crazy thing too is what Tyler was referring to as far as making history. No rookie team has come into the league and won an event in over 10 years.
yeah, I
And
think
no
it's
rookie
2001 Dynasty probably.
no rookie team has come in and won World Cup. I guess World Cup, is that what you're talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a different iteration of paintball. You're right, but that's like those are 10-man days
I
on
mean, I
hyperball.
was born in 2001. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Jeez, dude. I mean, you know, in my mind, especially in this era of paintball, you guys are the first rookie team to come in and win the World Cup. This again, I said before we went live, I think this is one of the most important episodes that Tyler and I have probably ever done. Because what you guys have accomplished this year is beyond incredible. And it's really like a testament to what you can achieve if you put enough work in, if you do the, if you do the hard work and you do the steps and you do it together. This was a magnificent victory to witness. Obviously Tyler and I are both feeling the pain from the loss. But this is I think a really good thing for the sport of paintball. And what you guys accomplished was just nothing short of, you know, miraculous.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah. So, yeah, the last 48 hours, you guys, you know, you win. People are all trying to give you guys drinks. I understand how terrible that feels at the field. It's like, you know, you feel bad turning it down, but it's like even a sip of alcohol like hurts so much. It takes a couple hours to kind of recoup.
I haven't eaten any food since breakfast, and then I'm snacking all day, obviously, to try to keep the body going. And then, I mean, I wasn't really dehydrated. I don't want to say that because I definitely was downing as many liquid IVs and water as possible, but I definitely didn't eat any food. There was no food on my stomach. Just snacking on Slim Jims and beef jerky, whatever I could get my hands on that was not full enough that I felt lethargic and like actually had a full stomach, but enough to keep the body going because my metabolism's ridiculous. So
yeah, I'm with you on that. I know exactly what you're talking about. And you're absolutely right. When you're in championship mode and you're in finals mode on Sunday, going through all those matches, you're just scrounging, you know, anything you can get your hands on in between a match, a quick little snack, and then going back into the ring to go battle, come back out, quick snack, and keep it moving. You want to be light and hungry, you know?
Yeah, I think I ate probably like 7 Rice Krispie treat things.
Attaboy.
They're just like in our bag. Like they have they give us like a snack bag and then like electrolytes and water. But like it's like everything that you could think of that would be a snack that you'd want is in that bag for us.
Yeah.
So we're scrounging for whatever we want.
Yeah. This weekend in Orlando was, I don't know if I remember a World Cup that had tougher playing conditions.
The ground felt worse than normal.
It did, and I think it's because the air was so wet that the sand was almost sticky. So, because I agree, it was really hot, but the humidity is what was really bad. And it looked like in the finals, I was back at the house watching on the webcast, but it looked like some clouds had come through. And when the clouds came through, it cooled down quite a bit and wasn't so bad. But much of the event was the humidity was like 90%. It was really difficult. So,
I'm a Florida boy, born and raised, so I'm kind of used to it. But
yeah,
but the other Texas guys definitely were feeling it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I definitely sat a point or two. I shouldn't say that I wasn't tired.
Well,
Yeah.
it rained right before all the finals action. There was like a little
sunshine rain.
Oh,
cell.
wow.
Yeah, a cell that
Oh,
moved through and rained a little bit. And then you guys thankfully didn't have to play in the rain, but it did rain a little bit before the finals.
I would have been wearing my boonie hat.
Yep. Boonie
Yeah.
hats. Let's go.
And you know what? I just think is so PB Fit fashion is like, you guys won the World Cup in overtime, and nobody really jumped up and down and celebrated. Like, yeah, you gave like the, are you not entertained? You and Chavez just gave the like, are you not entertained kind of thing, but nobody was like jumping up and down with like crazy joy once you realized you won, which was kind of strange to me because I mean, any team that wins the World Cup, just you can't really control it. You kind of go nuts. What was that because you guys were tired, or is it just like,
So
is that the motto on the team?
I don't know. So like I felt like me and Johnny were talking about it because like we went to Epcot and like drank around the world yesterday. So we were just chatting, kind of having a good time as a team. But while we were talking about it, we're like it just kind of felt like a win. Like we already win. Like we're winners.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
like we played the whole season as pro. So like we already feel like pro players. So I felt like this win just felt like another win. Like it just kind of felt like a release. Like we did it.
Yeah, you're actually alluding to something very important here where, teams often want to skip divisions and, take the quick path to the pro division. And there's really something to be said about learning how to win. And obviously PB Fit won all the semi-pro events last year. So the team has winning in its DNA. The team has won World Cups on that stage before. This was just a different division, and you're right. Like you had seen all the teams, you had beaten high level pro teams all season long. So I can understand that. Yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. And really it showed in the poise and your guys' ability to not only do something that again hasn't been done before, but also in that fashion, PB Fit is labeled as a slower team, right? A lot of big players, a lot of shooters, it's like, don't run against Fit. They're going to try to play the pocket. Don't let them shoot you on the break. And that's how you can beat Fit. But you guys have really evolved that this season. And then at the World Cup on the biggest stage in the finals, you guys are down 2-0 with a minute and like 7 seconds on the clock. And you guys pulled some stuff out of the bag that I don't think anybody has seen or even believed you guys had. And you guys, I mean, again, I'm just in awe, truly like watching that live. I was stunned. It was the only thing I could say. I looked around, I was watching with Blake Yarber, Arturo, Danny. I was like, I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. You can maybe point to some mistakes like Impact made. Honestly, it probably should have been easier. I think they should have gotten some majors. They got some calls that definitely went their way and not your guys' way in that match. And when you guys were mounting that comeback, there could have been a major that made that last point to tie it up a whole lot easier. So it's not like they completely blew it. Like you guys just played a really great game of paintball, and you played really great paintball all weekend long. It was like, wow, this is what's possible with teams that play every week, every weekend, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. It was like, man, it was just so great to see.
And then I think the change that we made with the when we were down 2, those points in particular is that we put Brody in and sat myself. Because Brody is the type of guy that he wants to be in your Snake 1 as soon as possible. And like, obviously Scott plays the Snake very differently than Brody would play the Snake. Like Brody wants to get up and go and get every single person that he can and then trade his body. And Scott's a little bit more methodical. And I don't want to say smarter because I don't think that's the correct verbiage that I should use, but maybe just more conservative, likes to play the long game more. So like he'll sit in the Snake 2 with me in the corner, just turn in behind him, make sure he's safe. But like when we sat me, because obviously like we have 2 people that are already going to go up to center, so we don't need me up there. And then we sit me, send Brody the Snake, and then send Scott running and gunning behind him. Snake shield play, shout out to Rainey, and just send it. Like what do we have to lose at that point, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as we won those 2, I knew we were winning overtime. There wasn't a doubt in my mind.
I think everybody did, to be honest. Yeah,
Dude,
it was
I think even Impact did.
That's the problem. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was at HK helping out the company, working, and me and Oliver Lang were watching the game together. Mishka, Kyle Spica were watching it, and there's a minute left, down 2, and we're like, oh man, it's crazy. We hear the crowd go crazy one time. Then we hear them go insane the second time when we all ran over to the field to watch the overtime point. And I don't know if you could hear me screaming from the sidelines, but I was in it, dude. I was like captivated. It was one of the most amazing moments in paintball I've ever seen, and probably, I don't know, maybe ever will see, because that moment was surreal, truly surreal to mount that kind of a comeback. And I guess what I want to ask is, does Paintball Fit practice those types of fast points, or what does that training look like to be ready for those kind of moments?
Well, so when we go to like during our layout practices, obviously we practice ourselves during the week when we're getting reps, but then during the weekend we get like 2 or 3 divisional teams, and we stay on one side and we make them spin us over and over again until we feel like we had enough reps on the layout. But we just keep going. Like we gives ourselves, like, I don't even think we gives ourselves 2 minutes. We give ourselves a minute, go to the back, talk about the point, what we did wrong, what we can fix, and then we're spinning. So we're kind of already in those high intense reps and practice consistently.
You guys don't practice pro teams on layout weekend?
No, so I feel like it's hard because, like, I feel like you're battling egos when you practice pro teams. Like, we do it on off weekends, but like when you're practicing another pro team, I feel like you're battling against your team's ego and their team's ego, because people are going to cheat. No one's going to be honest when they get bounced. And then like I want info on my shot. Yeah. Like, if I'm bouncing someone, I don't care if it's a divisional guy. I'm like, play through it. I want to play the situation, but tell me after. And then if you're playing another pro team, I wouldn't tell you, to be completely honest. Like, I'd be like, hey dude, I think your shot's high and you're hitting me in my like hat. I'm like, dude, you need to shoot higher. Like, keep shooting higher.
Yeah, and a little higher still.
Yeah. Then they're shooting the fucking VIP. Yeah. They're shooting the Gaylord over the nets at the event.
Yeah, I know the event was maxed out. It's crazy to see how many people showed out for this World Cup as the biggest tournament in the history of our sport. And then on top of that, you guys capitalized and created history by winning the World Cup as the rookie season for Paintball Fit, which is truly spectacular. Before we move on, what is like a weekly regimen look like for PB Fit? What is the weekly practice schedule?
We do the night balls on Wednesday and Friday. So like hopper ball, kind of just working on our
every player on the team.
Yeah, it's mandatory. And then Wednesday, Friday we do that, and then Saturday, Sunday we do practices against each other if we want. So just getting like really, really good reps, or we'll help out a divisional team at Fit and we'll give them reps. So we'll either just like beat up on the Beefy Boys or shut up. Those are like typically the two. Beefy Boys are like a D2 team. They won the USXBL
Let's go
series. And
Beefy Boys, hell yeah.
So we play them, and then Shut Up We're Trying are like the two main ones, and then also Jackpot.
Yeah,
the D3 team.
Shut Up We're Trying is heavily prevalent in our PTG Discord. Absolutely. And definitely a part of the culture. So major love to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we just take as many reps as we can get. I mean, we're pretty hardworking, so like we I mean, they literally work at the field, so we stay there pretty long.
Yeah, and like you said, it's mandatory, and I could be wrong, but I don't believe players on PB Fit get paid to play paintball.
I mean, everything's covered, so
right.
You're playing what you love for not having to pay for it. But
the culture it's mandatory, because that's what's required. And
we want to win.
Exactly. And man, again, this is why I believe this is so good for paintball, because I think we've gotten to a place where it's somewhat stagnant. The Russians have kind of broken the mold, being a team that has a lot of experience, high-level players, and also trains, more than anybody has always been the image. However, they don't get to train together more than anybody. That's you guys. You guys play all of your players together more than anybody. The type of confidence and belief that instills and builds over the course of a season is tremendous. I believe that's why teams have had so much success in the past. Teams like Heat and Impact and Dynasty, when we started winning again, it was when we were also playing in Europe together. The more time you get together playing this game, the better, period. That's any other sport. And I think, unfortunately, the last couple seasons, we've gotten to this weird place where teams, especially the ones with all of the top players, think like, hey, we can just show up the 2 weekends before. So we'll have, the layout weekend, and the weekend before that, we could just do drills and work on our stuff and really, kind of knock the rust off is what you hear people say. Knock the rust off. This is 3 weeks before a major tournament.
Yeah. But I think they can do it for sure. You guys should definitely keep doing that.
Well, it's worked up until this point.
Yeah.
And that was the problem, is that it was working. It was working for a lot of players and a lot of teams. But this year was the most competitive year in professional paintball that I can remember. There were no bottom teams that were like just complete walkovers. There just weren't. The bottom teams were beating top teams. You were going to tournaments. I mean, Dynasty didn't make Sunday twice. PB Fit was partially to thank for that, beating us in 2 of those events in the prelims as one of the lower seed teams. And it's because the lower seed teams might not have all the experience. They might not have the bankroll, but they have the commitment. All the players are playing together every single weekend. Yeah. And it's just powerful. It's really powerful when you're in those big moments. Like, you could have those little micro conversations on the field that you're so used to having. You have it day in and day out. You hit shots that you hit day in and day out. It's such a difference maker. And I hope that this win does a lot of things. I hope it inspires a lot of the pro teams to find ways to elevate, but I also hope that it shows the up and coming teams how important it is and how that blueprint and that formula is a formula for success. That was how we, Tyler and myself grew up, on Aftermath and Oakland Assassins. It was paintball was every single weekend and anytime you could go during the week. It wasn't, as we're getting ready for the tournaments, we start to ramp up and then you go back to your normal life, So yeah, again, just hats off to you guys and what you guys accomplished here. And I really hope you understand how important this win was, not just for you guys and for your organization, but really for the meta of paintball, the culture of paintball, and, pushing like what's possible forward. You know what I mean?
I think it's also like, I think a lot of the older guys, I don't know if they could handle doing as much practicing as we do. Like,
calm down, dude. Yes, we can. You need to chill.
Or anything, but
are you talking to us?
You need to chill. You need to chill there, Cyrus.
But like, obviously, like we play a lot. So like,
are you serious?
My body's tough.
You think that we can't hang with you? Is that what you're really saying?
I'm not saying.
The Cowboy's serious. The Cowboy's real
That's
serious.
crazy. Yeah, we can definitely practice a few times a week.
I believe that you guys could, but like,
we don't have that many gray hairs, buddy. We're still moving.
No, but there is something to it. And look, you can practice and your training should change as you get older, right? But it doesn't mean that it needs to go away. It's like, okay, so maybe I'm not going to run to the snake 15 times and dive and let someone shoot at me, right? But there's things that you could be working on consistently. But most importantly, I believe it's about doing it together, right? If you have one or two, Tyler puts in the work. He's at the field all the time. I'm at the field all the time. We have guys that are at the field all the time, but it's about doing it together. Yeah. That's where the gold is. And I do want to dive into what you sacrificed to make this happen, because you drove out there and I remember having this conversation with you. You were literally playing Division 3 WCPPL last year, Division 2 in the NXL with Dynamic. And you were like, I have this chance to go play with Fit. Don't think I'm going to get much play time. I have to kind of drop everything and move to Texas. But I'm going to do it. I'm all in because I can play with these guys every single day. And it's crazy that now here we are at the end of the season and you're a world champion and an MVP of the World Cup. Not many people get to say that. That's like an incredible thing. So I want to dive into that, actually, that decision, that sacrifice, and what led you to, going down that path and deciding this is what I'm going to do.
Do you want me to just go from the beginning of me
let's
playing?
Let's do it. Yeah. We can start. We can
just build into it, right?
Story. Sure.
Yeah. Just start with your first episode of PTG and then how it all led from there.
Yeah, of course. I started playing in 2020. My first tournament was 2020 Cup, D5 3-man.
I gotta go. This is crazy. This is crazy.
I think we got like 14th or something. Like I didn't podium or anything, nothing crazy. But then like the next season, like of course the rest of the off season, I was hooked at that point. So like the rest of that off season, I was like I signed up for BKI. I was doing every single drill and under the book to try to get my mechanics down. And like the whole off season, everyone just kept telling me like, oh, your mechanics are so good. You just need experience. And that was just like the thing that I kept hearing over and over again. You need more experience. You need more gun time. I'm like, okay. So that next season, I worked a lot in the off season, like my actual job, because I was like, I think I wasn't quite in my real job that I'm in now, but I was like still like delivering pizzas and stuff like that. So like I was racking up all of the tip money I could, making as much dough as I could, and then
no pun intended.
I was working to play as many tournaments as I could that following season. So that next season, literally any person that asked me to play a tournament, I was playing with them. So I played MVPS. I played D4 and D5, like both divisions, because I didn't have any points, so I could play whatever I wanted to. And then I played a bunch of tournaments that weren't like APPA points. Like I didn't get any points for them. It's a tournament series in Louisiana out of LAX paintball. Like they didn't do the point system because they had a bunch of people that like didn't really play paintball very often, so they didn't want to ruin their points. So I played like I think I played like 14 or 15 tournaments that season. But like my first D4 event, we got third, but I didn't play a single point. So that like fueled my fire. I mean, I probably played like 4 points total, but I was the new guy, didn't play. All these old guys had played paintball for 10 plus years at that point. And then people were freaking out. Like it was their first podium. I'm like, this is kind of my first podium too.
And when was that one?
It was the next year. So 2021, that
2021. Season. And then what event was that?
MVPS D4, I think.
Okay.
So got third in that event. And then I kept building. A couple of people quit. So the next tournament I played a lot. And then I don't remember how it went, but I don't think we podiumed. But then we kept going. I would play. So what I would do is I would go in the mornings on Friday and I would do my drills. And then no one would practice on Saturday. So I would do my drills on Saturday and then play 1-on-2s against literally anyone that was there. If it was only 2 people, I'd play 1-on-1s, or I would shoot my targets that I made myself. Nice. And then if no one was there, I would just shoot my targets. If people were there, I'd do 1-on-1s, or I'd do 1-on-2s with like the guy that was the ref that just wanted to play. So I'd do 1-on-2s against them, starting at the box. So I'd literally just sprint everywhere. So that was super fun.
It's good for you.
Yeah. And then kept kind of building, getting my IQ better, studying film, watching Go Sports. Like I would just every spot that I ended up playing at a tournament, I would just watch like either Tyler or Marcelo, or because I typically play the 2. I wasn't playing the 1 a lot, but I would just like watch you guys, see how you played positions, watch like the raw film of you guys actually talking to people.
That's
trying
the
to get
best.
my communication better.
Yeah.
Like and then I just keep building on my my field time, and then my mechanics obviously kept improving because I was just doing drills consistently all the time, Friday, Saturday, and then I'd play points on Sunday. So like that was my regiment for that year. And then I think
talk to us about what you would pick up from like the raw film, you know, where there's no commentating. It's just the players playing. You can hear the guns, you can hear the talking. What are you getting from that?
So I think, well, it's hard to go back in my head and think about what I get from it back then, because I can tell you what I get from it now. So like I'm listening to like the small conversations, the stuff that like people, like you're not just yelling codes, you're trying to figure out how to win a game. That's what I think I was picking up on in my D4, D5 self. But it was probably just, oh, these guys are talking a lot about random things.
Yeah.
They're not just saying D1 over and over again. Like they're like, the D1's on me, you should go up the center. I was like, oh, that's insane. Why would he say that?
Yeah.
So just like building on my communication, stuff like that. I mean, I still think I have a lot of work in that department sometimes, but
we all do, man. It's a never-ending expansion of ourselves on the field, off the field, trying to be better every day.
Then we got a second against so also another thing, while I was playing, the whole time everyone was talking about how they were playing paintball a bunch, and then they had to take a big break because all their team quit. So every event that I went down to Orlando, I was talking to literally every single team. I was making friends with everyone. I'm like, I'm not going to be the guy that had to quit because my team quit playing paintball. So like, I'm just networking at every event. I had my big old cowboy hat on. I'm 6'3" with a white cowboy hat on. I'm pretty hard to miss. But
see, now we're talking about personal branding and connectivity.
That's another thing. I think pretty much got it from them talking about having to quit, and then you guys talking about how important it is to make your personal brand. So like, I'm like, oh, I'm tall.
Well, for everybody that doesn't know, you've been a part of PTG since the beginning, you know, of the entire movement, and it is so fulfilling for us to see you in the position that you are. And we you know, you're like our family, you know, you are our family, and
one of the goats, baby.
Yeah, it means the world to us to see you doing so well and implementing these staples, these cornerstones that we try to hammer into the, you know, we talk about for the culture of the game and all these mantras that we have, and you have just fucking taken it and run, dude. You know what I mean? And really made something of yourself. It's
when
amazing.
people that already made it, they're saying something, you might as well listen, right? Like they obviously want the best for you. They wouldn't be talking to you or talking about it if they didn't think it was the right idea, right? Like, obviously you can take everything with a grain of salt, like, and implement it in your own ways, obviously. But like my thing was, I was going to be friends with every single person that I've made eye contact with or gave a fist bump to. Like, I wanted to know, now, come full circle now. That's why the crowd was so insane, because I made so many friends that when I'm back in Florida and all of those people are done playing their event, they come and they're like, let's fucking go, Cy guy.
Totally, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was nuclear.
The ripple effect is insane.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm networking, and then that's how I met Jet Isidro on Dynamic, like in the all-star game that they do. MVPS does like an all-star game. Like, you pick your two best people on your team if you're in the series running, and they let you play against each other, kind of have a fun time. So I really met him there, and then I kind of just kept talking to him throughout the whole event, and then we ended up winning that event. So we won that event and the series in my first D4 event or year. I think I got a third, a second, and a first that year. And then
it's contagious. You know, once you start getting that rhythm going, and that's why I think all last year, winning pedigree, win. Marcelo alluded to it earlier. It's a part of the culture. It's the makeup of the team. It's in the DNA, like March said. And when you bring that into the pro arena, you guys have been watching and studying us probably maybe more than anybody, you know, as semi-pros, you know what the next step is, and you know what your competition is going to be, and you're studying it vigorously. So all you did was move that winning culture into the pro division and carry that same energy that you all had in the semi-pro, and not overthink it, not make things bigger in your mind than they are. This is paintball. It's a paintball game. You go out there, you make the right moves, you make the right choices, you make the right shots, you're quick on your gun, you're quick on the movements. And if you do that together as a team, which obviously PB Fit plays insanely, tons of paintball all together, it's just cut and paste. You just moved it right into the pro division. And I want to dive into Sunday because it was insanity out there. So let's talk about the walk through the tournament. Let's just start with Sunday morning, first match, and let's go from there.
Okay, so we played Damage. So I get to play my coach when I do the divisional stuff, when I guest with them. So I get to play Rainey.
We see you
And
out
like,
there all the
I
time.
mean, I've been watching pro paintball a lot, actually significantly longer than I played, because like when I was a freshman in high school, I realized I wasn't going to do wrestling the following year, and I had like my 7th period block was wrestling class, so I would just go in the bathroom and literally watch pro paintball matches on my phone.
That's funny.
But there was
man.
like, I didn't have a field near me, so I couldn't play. So I was
Yeah.
just watching pro paintball matches.
And you
Uh,
moved to Texas.
Yeah,
to
that's why I kind of want to.
pursue the
Yeah, I
dream.
kind of want to round that out, because then the next year is when I think you played with Rainey, and then you got the opportunity to move out to Texas. I kind of want to
well, it's
finish
kind of
that
the 2
storyline.
years, but I can keep going, or it's your
Yeah,
guys'
finish
show,
that.
so whatever you want.
Finish that storyline, and then we'll get
Yeah,
into
Okay.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So the next year's D3. I drove down to Orlando for tryouts. It's a 6.5-hour drive from where I lived. So I drove down for tryouts. They wanted to do D2, but it just ended up falling through. So we played D3 that year. But I would still do my drills on Friday morning, and then I would drive the 6.5 hours down to Orlando, Florida for practice during the weekend. And I would stay at my teammate Matt Burkavich's house. I would stay on his couch, and then we would play Saturday, Sunday, and then I would drive 6.5 hours back home for work Monday morning. So do my drills Friday, drive down that day after my drills, practice Saturday, Sunday, then drive home the next weekend or on Monday.
Do y'all hear that out there, people? This dude loves paintball. He loves it. Would do anything to be on the field, and like March was talking about earlier, this sounds exactly like our careers are the same thing. We would travel 5-6 hours from NorCal to SoCal, or back and forth up and down the state to get to the fields, to get to the competition, to be the best that we could be. And that's what you're doing, and that's why you're sitting where you're sitting, man.
I'm driving down, and then we're getting reps against the Killers and Damage and a bunch of high level teams when we're still D3. So I'm getting my butt worked, to be honest. But we still feel like we're hanging in there. And then we win that series. We go to Cup. I think we get 3rd at Cup. And then we play D2 the next year, and then we get 1st at Sunshine. But this whole time I'm still living in North Florida. So I'm still driving the 6.5 hours and the 6.5 hours back. But then the D2 season is when I felt like my paintball IQ got significantly better, because I started coaching a D5 team. So I'm coaching these guys, and I'm having to dumb it down. So I'm having to learn every single time I'm coaching these guys. I'm having to make sure that I'm not talking like I'm talking to a higher divisional guy. I'm trying to explain high level paintball stuff to kids. These guys are actually 15 and 16 years old. So they were children. So but they were so receptive that I was doing extremely high paintball IQ plays, people playing dead zones and shooting the other side of the field in D5.
Yeah.
And we were just murking everyone because they were listening. Listening is another thing that's super important. And they were so receptive, and they wanted to do exactly what I said every time, that they were just absolutely murking everyone. But they for some reason, when the pressure got to them, they just couldn't win. So they got 2 or 3 seconds, and I think a 3rd in the MVPS series. But then when they went to Cup, they won. They won a World Cup because they were just that accustomed to being in that position that they finally put it together, and the luck went their way.
Yeah.
And then D2, we won Sunshine State, and then we were kind of in the fight the whole year, practicing or fighting against Marcelo's boys, the Wrecking Crew guys. But we were just kind of getting our looks, practicing the Killers and everything. And then after D2, we got 2nd at Cup. Unfortunate, but is what it is. And then I'm guesting with teams. I'm still in the same mindset that I still need to grow my paintball IQ. So the Sicarios reached out to, or really it was Logan Hansel on Shut Up reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to guest with them for a WC. So I go over there and I play with them, and then that's how I got introduced to Rainey. And then Logan couldn't come to the rest of them, but they were going to help me out and bring me out. So I kept playing with them. kept getting good looks and all the insight from Rainey, because he's a mastermind, of course, been in the game for forever. So like I'm getting looks from Damage, the Killers, and then I'm even getting the California IQ from Rainey. And then I go over to Fit, play event with them, or like they do like the champs and challengers. So it's like where a higher divisional guy can play with a D4 team. And then like, so I have my points fit where I could play with Colt and still everyone can still be D4. And then I don't think we won that event, but I played pretty good. And then that was basically my tryout without me knowing it was my tryout for the team. And then in the off season, with Fit. Yeah. So like I played with Colt, and then obviously like Johnny was running the event. So he was watching us. I never really talked to him about it, but, and then the off season came, and then Fit gave me the offer. They promised the practice time. Everyone's more dedicated than me, if not as dedicated as me. And that's what I really want. Like I want to be around people that want to win as much as I do, or want to be the best paintball player as much as I do. Like, like there's no reason for me to be around people that kind of just want to drink on Saturday and then go practice on Sunday only. Like I want to be the best ever. So like I want to surround myself with the people who want to be that good. So that was a reason. And then obviously like I love my dynamic boys, but like we didn't play one of the D2 events because people just couldn't make the event, and I had to guess with the D3 team. So like I think honestly during I think it was Philly, Fit was actually like one of their guys got hurt, and Colt like at the event, he's like, I almost messaged you to come guest with us for playing with Fit. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was an option. And then he gave me the offer, of course, in the off season. And then I accepted it. And I was like, my girlfriend at the time, she still lived in Orlando. So I was like, after Cup, I was just kind of staying down here, just kind of spending time with her, because like 6.5 hours is like, it's still long distance. So like, we're still like FaceTiming when we're not together. And like, so I wanted to spend as much time as I could with her, just for like a couple weeks, kind of vibing. And then I really had a long conversation with her about how she felt about me moving. Because like their one stipulation for joining the team was I had to move. Like I couldn't fly out for practices. Like I had to be there to practice. So like that was like they're like, everything's covered. You don't got to worry about anything. The only thing is that you have to move to Texas. I'm like, okay. So like I start talking to her, and she's like, I think you should do it. I think it's the right move. And I like, obviously in the back of my head, I already said yes. It was more like,
how am I going to sell this?
making sure she was 100% on board, because like it was actually going to be long distance. Like, I don't know. It's like 18 hours from Orlando to Dallas, Texas. So I accepted the offer on Friday. I drove home like the 6.5 hours that night back home, packed all my stuff, and then literally drove straight to Texas.
Outstanding, dude.
I literally got home, and I'm like, hey, Grammy, I'm moving to Texas. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, watching your trajectory. One, the fact that you started playing in 2020 is absolutely bonkers. To be your first time experience 2020, World Cup MVP, literally the peak of professional paintball 4 years later. And watching, because I first started noticing you at the WCs, right? Obviously, I already knew you from the Discord, but like never had met you in person. And then from that moment on, it was like, I felt like I saw you everywhere. You're right. The cowboy hat was a thing. Like you had this persona.
It's like once you see a red car and you start talking about red cars, you
always see the red car. Yeah. But it was like, I just always saw you. You were always out there trying to compete, trying to put yourself in a position to succeed. You know, a lot of people pass up opportunities. They make excuses as to why something won't work, why they don't deserve an opportunity, why they shouldn't do it. You did all the opposite. You're like, I'm just going to continuously create these opportunities for myself. I'm going to be, I'm going to align myself with someone like Rainey, which is a brilliant move. He's an excellent mind. And you were just there over and over and over. And then you say, you know what, I'm making the move, going to PB Fit. I remember when you brought that up to me, I'm like, I don't, if I'm actually giving you advice, is it better to play semi-pro where you're going to get a lot of reps and get that experience? Or is it better to, like make the jump and try to earn a starting spot? You'll be able to play all the time. That's huge. It's like, it seemed like everything was just happening so fast for you. I was like, I feel like you were just playing D3 like this last year. I'm confused, it was like, this is all happening so fast. And, I was talking to Tyler about this before we got you on the show, actually. Watching PB Fit this year, it wasn't like teams were just blowing it. It was, you guys were just playing such a good brand of paintball. I think there's circumstantial success in paintball, and players will have that often. You'll have front players that like the field's just good for them. So you can make the snake on the break. And if you have the balls to just run around a corner, you might shoot 3 people and it's going to be this big highlight. And everyone's like, oh, that player is so good. I don't think that player is that good. I think the player that, the AC layout's a good example. Like there's been many layouts like that over the years where it's more about guessing. And sometimes you get lucky, and there's something to that. Like you got to have the cojones to do that. And there's something about intuition there as well. Not taking that away from those, players that excel there. But there's a difference between that and players that just consistently make good decisions. Obviously fundamentals have to be there, but decision-making ultimately is what wins championships. And it was always, that's the question, like, can Fit do that? And can you do that in this division? And watching you play throughout the year, and especially at World Cup, it was like every decision that you made was so good and so high level and so like versatile. Sometimes you were out in the snake corner. Sometimes you were up in the middle. Sometimes you were setting traps. Sometimes you were being a bully. It was like such a well-rounded game from not just you, but the entire team. And that to me is what was so impressive, to see that arc and see it happen so fast. I mean, it's the fastest I've ever seen it happen, period.
I mean, I didn't play a single point in Vegas.
Yeah, that's right.
But like, I knew that with how much Fit practice is, that I was eventually going to get my time. It was only a matter of time. Like I'm going to throw myself at that wall until I break through.
Man. Well, yeah, hell of a journey to get to that point. And so, where Tyler wanted to go with this conversation, let's dive into Sunday a little bit, because you guys had a hell of a road.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can even start with the prelims if we wanted to. Like I felt like we were playing pretty good in the prelims, and then we kind of hit damage. And then like that first point, obviously I made a pretty good play, and then they start down 4, and then we lose that point. And that one kind of took the wind out of our sails a little bit, because we had the advantage already, and then we killed another body. So it was I think it was a 5-on-3 that we lost. But like that took the winds out of our sails, and like as we're watching the film, like we like obviously we're going over players' tendencies and like what they want to do, and so like we're watching all that stuff, like figuring it out, and then like we go into that match. I felt extremely confident, but like we just knew we couldn't feed Rainey kills off the break snake side. So we pulled Scott short, and we sent me up more. But I was playing that dead zone by that most people are probably going to call the God, or that snake Aztec. I was playing it a lot. Even in practice, I practiced playing that dead zone every single point, just because I knew that I could dive to the Aztec if I needed to. Like it's like like I know that I can dive there and play that spot how I'm going to play it regardless. So I wanted to practice playing the dead zone every single point, and I made sure the divisional guys knew that I was going to do it. So I had every single look for that spot where they might shoot me from. So like I felt like I was dancing all weekend, like in that spot right there. I was just going back and forth, like just trying to reading the paint really. But I felt like that first match against Damage, I was reading the paint very well, and I was shooting Chad. So I was making it where Chad had to dive. Oh, I shouldn't take all credit, because Trenton was also shooting for him. So like we were flooding that zone, making sure that he couldn't shoot me. So like we're shooting him, making it where he had to dive, and then making it where that I could go straight up, because the only way that we could have me dive to the Aztec was if we sent a body wide, obviously. And I think we were the only team that played 2 on the snake side the whole event. Every other team played what we'd call a Cali, so 2 people on the D side and only 1 person on the snake. But we were the only team that were playing 2 on that snake side. But the only way that we felt like we had success is if we had a body running out wide, because no one was really shooting it in practice. And then me filtering out. But when he started shooting us, obviously, so we pulled him short and sent me up. But like we were just kind of going blow for blow. It felt, every point felt close until we started shooting him off the break. And then like I kind of made an audible because I saw where Rainey was shooting his paint. It was more for me in the dead zone. So I think it was, I can't remember what point exactly it was, but we ended up doubling that. I run and gunned out and Scott dove into the Aztec, and I like had dominance on, I forget who's playing. I think it was Smith. No, I can't remember who's playing the snake for them right now. It's completely
Brian Smith mostly was in the snake.
Okay.
I think Holiday every so often too, because Keith was hurt.
I think it was only Smith on Sunday though.
Yeah.
But so I had dominance on Smith, so I just immediately went to the corner. And then we had outside contain, and I'm just wrapping up field, making it sure they can't go. And then Scott immediately makes his way into the snake. And then I get 2 free kills from them just running through my gun. And then
that's the importance of just hammering those cuts. You know, when you have dominance of a side, just continue to hammer those. Yeah,
that's the thing that kind of annoys me when I like watch back the webcasts and like people are like pretty much shitting on Colt for staying in the home. I'm like, dude, he is making it where they can't fill. Like,
please preach, Cyrus.
Please stop shitting on people for staying in the home. It's like it actually breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Dude, because like they are helping their team win. Like if they can't get wide, they can't win the point.
You know what I think a lot of people don't realize, because they look at it at a pretty surface level. Hate to call Rich out, but he's wrong often up there with that. You know, get out of the back. I didn't want to throw him under the bus. Even our team sometimes is like, get out of the home. And I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Look, I understand this is a small shot that I have, and it's a hard shot, but I can stop this entire side and from this one shot. And you can see things. Like, you don't have to rush out of here. There's times to get out for sure, but you do not have to rush out of here. And it's just like a knee-jerk reaction. People are like, oh, you got to get out of the back center. No, you don't. Sometimes you really don't. Chicago, when damage won, everyone thought you had to get out of the back center. Rainey did such a great job of sitting there, and he would just pound paint through that little Dorito cut. It was so small, but it was just enough to where that guy couldn't check you off. He couldn't put you in, and he couldn't go through the zone. So it allowed your Dorito players the freedom to get outside and wrap and go down the field. Man, I can't say this enough. I can't agree with you more. Sometimes they just don't understand what's actually happening up there. And it is frustrating because Colt did not deserve that, you know, because everyone that's listening and watching, they're like, oh yeah, what's this guy doing in the back center?
And then they agree. And then every single video that Colt gets posted of him still in that can, he just gets shit on in the comments.
Totally. And
it helps the algorithm. So I guess it's okay. But
it helps the algorithm. Man, I'm glad you said that though. Yeah. Back center, super underrated. Great spot.
But like when I'm wrapping that spot, I'm making sure where they can't get out wide and we're in the snake. So like we're playing outside contain. I'm making sure they can't go wide. Rainey, unfortunately, just runs through my gun, and I just suck that instance for some reason. But he makes it through, and then like I'm calling. So Rainey's not playing me at all. So I'm calling like the red alert, like making sure my snake guy knows that Rainey's probably not in the corner anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he gets Scott and Trenton. And then I kind of just threw myself at him because I felt like we were going to lose the point if I didn't. So I just kind of like I put away Jason, and then I filled out like to the Aztec, and then I went forward. Rainey saw me, and I'm just shooting at where I think he's going to come out, and thank God he did, because he just put his face right into my paintball. And then I felt the air off the paintball that he shot at me. Like we were almost traded. and then I shoot Jason, and then we win that one. And then I felt like that was the point that kind of like, I don't want to say took the wind out of their sails, but like they were in, I don't know, a 4-on-2, and they almost won it. Like it's hard because like you felt like you already lost the point, and these people brought it back so close to winning it, and then they lose it anyways. So then it just takes the momentum even worse.
That's right. And this game is so much about momentum like that.
Yeah.
Those moments, those shifts in momentum, they really carry a lot of weight when you move forward into that match. And you guys ended up winning this match. Was it 5-1?
I think it was 5-1.
Yeah. Pretty, successfully. And it's because you guys were able to capture those little moments, because one of those moments shifts the other way, and now the momentum's going their way, and then it changes the cadence, right? So it's very, very important.
Oh, and also on the plane ride, I watched Gladiator. That's why I was doing it all weekend, by the way.
Oh, there we go. That explains it.
It does.
Yeah, I was working, and I'm like, I have 2 hours. Might as well get some work done. And I'm like, let me watch a movie while I work.
Classic.
And then that was the movie I chose, and that was the celebration for the whole weekend.
Dude, it's such a great movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fitting.
And then you guys played.
And then we played the Russians.
Yeah, the Russians.
So,
bro, that was such a good game. I mean, all of them were amazing. When the one-on-one happened with Berdnikov and Colt,
dude,
and he shot him. Yeah, I was like, wow, that doesn't happen. Yeah, it just doesn't happen.
I mean, Colt's a dog, so he's gonna win his ones. So
yeah, and I absolutely love your team because, like Marcelo said earlier, you guys have broken the mold and inspired the nation and the world. That anybody who puts in the work and the effort and the care and, like you said, just goes all in, everyone all in together on a mission, on a journey together, can win the World Cup in paintball. Y'all broke the mold. You really did, and showed what is possible. And I think that what you guys have done is truly going to propel paintball into the future with some real momentum, because there's a lot of eyes on the game right now. And what y'all did is inspiring, truly inspiring to the world. And you've changed this game forever with that win out there at World Cup.
Appreciate it.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. But then, so like Colt wins that 1-on-1. And like we kind of went into that match with shutting down Kirill. That was kind of our goal. It's just flood paint back at that center area, try to kill him. And like we obviously, like, we watched Damage's film that night, but we also watched a lot of the Russians too. Because like we wanted to prepare for Damage, but we also wanted to prepare for the next one too.
Yeah.
So like we watched a lot of film from the Russians. So like Kirill was kind of killing it up there. So like we were trying to shut him down, and I think we were relatively successful. I went back and watched our match, but I think we shot him like 2 or 3 of the points off the break. And I mean, taking that weapon off the field is a big deal.
Well, it's huge because it frees up the edges. He was just a bully on anybody trying to go down the wires. Doesn't matter. He would shift to the Dorito side, shift to the Snake side, whatever it took to give those edge players the worst time possible. So getting him out of the middle is huge, because now your sides are able to flow.
Yeah. And then like there was one point that Malloy was like all the way up in our Snake. And like, well, he was first in the Snake 3 and he popped the top. He told me where he was, thankfully, because I was in a spot where I couldn't really see the inside of his bunker. Or if I wanted to look at the inside of his bunker, I would have to be really exposed to the outside of his bunker. But he popped the top, told me where he was. So I just kind of rolled off at the edge of his bunker and just kind of waited for him to go. And then he went kind of sloppy, surprisingly, to the 50 Snake. So I saw his pack. So I'm just like waiting for him to come up. And then we gun battle a couple times, and then I get him when he tries to just like fully commit to trading, and he doesn't shoot me. And then I wrap up field, and I see the edge of J-Rab's loader over the top of the Snake. So I get those 2 kills, and then I think they towed like shortly after that. That was another point that kind of just sticks out of my mind, because like you don't get to shoot Malloy and J-Rab in the same point very often.
Definitely not.
So
yeah. And he was playing over the top religiously, in that back Snake area.
Honestly, most of the very experienced players do. When they're in those Snake bunkers, if they're not feeling pressure, they're coming over the top. So like, I didn't really know where he was, but I knew where he wanted to be. So I just kind of shot over the top of the Snake, and he just happened to be there.
Yes, that's right. And that's once again doing your research, you know, diving into the film, knowing what players are going to be doing. Absolutely.
I mean, I played a lot of sports growing up, so like studying film's kind of just natural to me.
What sports?
I played literally everything. I played football, soccer, wrestling, track, cross country, swim. Like I did literally any sport that I could. I wanted to do it.
Dude, that sounds.
This is the one that I was really good at, so I just kind of stuck with it.
That's the same thing with me. I played every sport under the sun, and then once I found paintball, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the one."
This is the one.
Yeah, love it, man.
Well, I growing up, I always had wanted to be a professional athlete. Like that was just kind of like a goal of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I found paintball, I'm like, I think I can do this.
Yeah. Did you ever get into like aggressive sports like snowboarding, BMX, motocross, anything that?
I did Brazilian jiu-jitsu for a while, but I didn't do any competitions. I just did it like more like self-defense kind of stuff.
Well, that's very interesting that you do Brazilian jiu-jitsu because fighting and fight culture goes hand in hand with paintball. Absolutely. This whole paintball culture, even the postures, when you posture with your gun, it's a very fighting stance, you know, being ambidextrous, going left-handed, southpaw, you know, switching it up.
Oh, my stand-up's awful. I'm just immediately going to the ground because that's where I feel comfy.
Yeah, dude. And there's just something really special about those two cultures. And we have a lot of fighters who transfer into paintball and do really well and are very successful because the cultures are similar. And you have to get into that fight mentality when you play paintball as well. And it does very much so feel like a fist fight or a brawl when you're in a paintball battle as well.
Plus, typically those people have pretty high mental tolerance, so like they don't get rattled. Like and then also most of them are very hardworking. So like those are like the two things I think paintball really needs for you to be good.
Absolutely. Yeah, when I was coming up on Twisted Factory and Twisted Kids when I was like 11, 12, my whole entire camp, they were all fighters from dynamic mixed martial arts out there in the Central Valley. And, you know, they're very resilient, like you said, and they don't, you knock them down, they get up. You knock them down, they get up, and they're resilient no matter what you throw at them. So it's really cool that you have that background.
And then like the last point against the Russians, I kind of made an audible on the box that I wanted to just kind of run at them. So I just went all the way up to that brick, and I thankfully I killed. I can't remember who it was. It was all the Russians. Their names are so similar to me. It was the one with the long socks, Dorito attacker.
Karslev.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy's a beast.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just one of the best players.
I can look at him and I can tell you their name when I'm on the box. Like when we're on the box, telling each other where we think they're gonna go.
Sure.
I could tell you where they were gonna go, but I couldn't tell you what their name was.
You're like, yeah, that guy, you know, Carsland, you know, the one that's over there.
He's going to the Dorito one because he's lined up in front of the guy right now.
Yeah. He's an absolute animal.
So you guys have that kind of freedom on the box to just make an audible and change the plan? Or
he already wanted me to go to the center. I just kind of went further than he kind of told me to.
Got it.
Because like I'm running and gunning up, and I see Malloy go around, or maybe it was J-Rab or Malloy. I can't remember which one it was. Went around the corner. So like I'm shooting at him, and then I'm like, I'm gonna be really screwed if I stop in this wedge. So I just kind of kept going up, and then he missed his first ball, and then I shot him with my first snap out the side, and we don't trade. And then I catch Kirill coming up, and then I catch the other guy going up the D side, and then I go and stand over the top of their wedge and shoot J-Rab. And then Chavi just couldn't let me have the glory and shot me in the back of the head.
Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for the tremendous support with the PTG show. If you are enjoying these episodes and want to help with the progress and development of this program and connect with like-minded, hungry paintball players, then head on over to ptgpodcast.com, click the orange Patreon link, and become a member of the PTG World Discord chat room. And now back to the show.
You said
no. That's way. Right. Yeah.
You're gonna have enough glory here pretty soon.
He shot me like 4 times, like two or three in the back, and then one like 2 or 3 in the back of the head. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, you turned around, you're like, yo, bro.
Yeah. I'm like, I know we shot everyone. Come on.
Yeah, that's funny, man. And you guys won that game. What was the score on that? It was
I think we only had it was like a 1 point win.
It was 5-4, I think. Yep. You guys won by 1 point there. That's a huge win, man. Yeah, people aren't beating the Russians like that. And that's a statement right there. And then we go into the game of games before the finals with Diesel, which was a madhouse, overshooting, people going into the penalty box. It was like old NXL days out there.
The first point, I'm pretty sure it was Mouse. Obviously they won the first point, but like someone overshot Colt, and I wasn't going to have that. And then Mouse started walking towards our pit. I mean, he was walking towards BJ, but he was definitely talking to Colt. And Colt was like, he mouthed back at him. Obviously, they just started talking shit. I'm like, all right, this is about to be gritty. Mm-hmm. And then it was funny because in the other set against it was Dynasty and Impact.
Yep.
It was Sloviak. I think it was like your second point or something. It was like a 4-on-1, and like they were talking about how when it's the 4-on-1, you kind of want to go down and you want to put it on that guy to try to get in his head a little bit. But it was funny watching that back and hearing Sloviak say that, and then like 2 points later, I really thought it was Mouse. I really thought it was Mouse, and then when I'm coming around the Snake 1 to bunker him, I see a Mouse. Literally, so everyone on Diesel pretty much looks the exact same.
They do look somewhat similar from far away. Like BJ, Clint, and Mouse look similar.
BJ and Mouse are both pretty big guys.
Yeah.
And then they both wear the ski mat, the shiesty, and the headgear, and then obviously the EVS. So when I come around there, I'm thinking it's Mouse, and I'm like, I obviously already watched the clip with Rainey. I saw that you can either get Mouse really fired up or you can get in Mouse's head. And I was going with trying to get in his head. So like I just go and kind of put it on BJ, and then BJ just kind of stands up, and I see that he's running at me. So I just kind of keep shooting at him, and he just runs straight through me. And I played soccer for 14 years. So I kind of sold it. I kind of just went straight back into the can and threw my arms up like he just ran straight through me.
Yeah.
And I definitely sold it a little bit, but he did run through me.
That was Clint.
Nope. That was BJ.
That was BJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clint.
I mean,
honestly, Clint gets active here in a little bit.
So
Clint gets super active. And I got to say though, Mouse, I got to give Mouse a ton of respect too. He's matured a lot because
absolutely.
It happened in their
Fat Patient.
Exactly. And that clip actually, people are like, I think Mouse looks incredibly tough in that clip because he just doesn't even address it. He's like, no, I've been here before. I'm trying to win a tournament right now. I'm trying to win a world championship. Out of my face, and Zach's like really trying to get under his skin. Mouse has definitely matured and learned from that incident with Rainey. Yeah.
But so my thought process is when it's a 4-on-1 or a 5-on-1, I'm going to go barrel side and try to draw the major. That's my goal. I'm going barrel. Like I know some people want to go pack side and just put it on them. I'm going barrel side and putting it on them and hoping to God they shoot me after I've shot them. And because I want the next point to be a free one, right? That's my goal. So I'm 4-on-1, 5-on-1. I'm going barrel side, and I'm trying to draw the major. That's been my thought process for pretty much all the divisions.
That's right.
It works a lot more than it works when the refs are good.
Correct.
So the lower divisions, you might not want to do it because they're just going to say it's a trade. But I mean, when the refs are good, so like D2 to semi-pro to pro, a barrel side, and I mean, you can put 2 on them and then pull your gun up. Because that's what I used to do. I just shot them twice and then put my gun down so they know I'm not shooting them anymore, and then they can see when I get hit.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's the move.
Absolutely, man.
They put it on Colt, so I was putting it on whoever that was in that snake. And
hello.
So you got a rest of the game suspension for that. That's what it was for
unfortunately.
overshooting.
But like it was weird because like I feel like
wait, what?
Yeah. That's what I don't understand is like you're either going to allow overshooting or you're not.
Yeah.
And
it was malicious intent because I definitely shot BJ a lot in the head.
Okay.
So like
I think head hunting is probably the line.
Yeah. Well, right? I mean, that's all I had, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So like I'm coming at his face and like it's either shoot his gun a bunch or shoot him in the top of the head a bunch. And I shot him in the top of the head a bunch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I could see where they can make
it was malicious intent.
Yeah.
Totally. So like there's no overshooting penalty. I've read the rule book. There's no such thing. It's malicious intent.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's what
I meant. But it was for overshooting,
Yeah. I mean, malicious intent is technically the term. But it was for overshooting in the head.
Yeah. Like that's the action that you did that was malicious intent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
So
not like
then-
you threw a
so-
punch. You didn't, you
Yeah.
didn't try to fight him.
No,
You just,
I just shot him a bunch in the head.
yeah, okay. I see.
But yeah, so me and BJ get suspended, and like as soon as it's over, me and BJ are just joking in the jail, paintball jail.
Mhm.
And then a couple points go by. Like you when you watch the webcast back, you can see how rattled Diesel is just from that.
Big time. I was in there. We were in their pit. We were on their pit side, and when that happened, you can see that their inexperience showed.
Yeah, like their emotions definitely got the best of them.
Totally.
Like they
100%.
just wanted at that point, they didn't care about the match anymore. They didn't want to win. They just wanted to overshoot Paintball Fit.
Yeah, correct. Correct.
I mean, I probably Spica and Mouse were probably like, let's win this match. But the rest of those guys definitely like the I don't want to say
the non-veterans,
Yeah, veterans is probably the better word.
Yeah, 100%. And again, being in their pit, like we could hear the chaos and the commotion. It was like, oh, that's not good. They're kind of unraveling right now because of this.
Mm-hmm.
And they were great. I mean, Diesel had a phenomenal event.
Absolutely.
Huge props to them. It was actually really good to see them finally put all the pieces together and win some games that they should have been winning all year.
For sure. Yeah, it was great to see that. And March, when you say unraveling, what does that mean? Like, what does that look like for teams out there who obviously don't want to unravel and don't want those things to happen to them and have those situations? How can they keep their organizations from having that happen?
So to me, and our team has been victim of this a lot this season as well. When the voice of reason is trying to speak up and get everybody's attention to focus on the only thing that matters, which is how we're going to win the next point. When that person is trying to speak up and nobody's listening to that person because they're yelling and screaming and upset, that is unraveling to me.
Mm-hmm.
That shows that you have all lost control. You do not understand the mission. You've lost your focus and you're not going to get on the same page. And again, that's happened to us multiple times this year. I watched it happen to Diesel. Actually, I didn't quite watch. I could just hear it. They were trying to get control of the pit. You couldn't get control of it. That carries over to the field. Those emotions don't get in check, and you just do not play the type of paintball that you need to play to win a game.
Yeah.
So to me, that's how I define unraveling, and you can see it. You can feel it in pits often. Whenever the voice of reason or the person that's trying to get everybody focused on the mission at hand or the task at hand, and people aren't paying attention or listening and they're letting their emotions be bigger than that, that is a complete unravel.
Yep. And then I don't know, a couple points go by, and then Clint does what he does, puts it on Colt, and then I don't know if they threw a penalty for that, because obviously the refs are trying to get control of the game, because
I think they did. I think that was why they threw the penalty.
Before that happened, they shot Trenton coming off the field at least 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
So Clint already overshot someone really, really bad, and then he did it to Brody right after that, getting out of the snake. So Clint overshot two people. And I could see the ref, he had the hand on the flag and then looked up at, oh my gosh, Ahow. Looks up at Ahow, and Ahow shakes his head no. Obviously, they don't want to be a part. They don't they want to keep control of the game, but they don't want to make themselves the reason a team loses. So Ahow shakes his head no. He's like, not right now. And then
and for everybody that doesn't know who Ahow is,
Ahow is the head ref.
He's the head ref. Yeah.
Pros.
That's
the one that sits up in the scalpel thing by the camera guy.
Yep.
So Ahow shakes his head no. Obviously they don't want to be the ones to control a match. And then because I'm watching the game at this point because I'm in the scored booth, and I can see all the refs doing their thing. And then he does that to Clint, or he does that to Colt. Overshoots him really bad, and Ahow shakes his head yes.
Yeah.
He's like, yes. Now is the time that is no longer okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because Clint started at his pack,
that
was all the way up to his head, and then went around the bunker shooting his head.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when malicious intent is the thing. When you start at the pack,
agreed,
and you go up to the head,
agreed.
If you start at the head and you're shooting him in the head, you can get a little bit more leeway. Obviously,
agreed.
At 2 in the head is probably enough. But when you start at the pack and go up, that's when malicious intent is always going to be called.
Yeah, and once it goes
that's targeting. That's total targeting.
Yeah, absolutely. Football terms.
Correct.
Yeah.
But then then Justin, the guy that is behind the box, he's calling him out, signaling he's out because he's being pulled on a penalty. And Clint runs at the box, hits the buzzer as Justin's signaling him out, and then Clint hits his hand out of it because he runs into him. He hits his hand out of the way. And then so he obviously gets a major for that and gets ejected. So then they're down 2 starters. So like that's 2 people out of the field. And then like after that, Clint obviously comes and sits in the scored booth with us. So now we have 3 of us in there.
Yeah. There's some great memes and just, stuff rolling around on the internet with all you guys in there.
Absolutely. So then like I made the joke in the booth when Clint made his way over there and like got in there. I think it was the guy from what's his name? From not Let's Talk Paintball. What's the other one? Oh my goodness. Sure. I'm forgetting his name. I apologize for it. But I made the joke to him. I'm like, all right, guys, I need another fit guy. I'm getting outnumbered here.
Yeah, man. Come on, bring another one in here.
Yeah.
It's 2v1.
Like this is unfair now.
Oh, you've been handling 2v1s pretty well. You're doing all right. You're doing good. But it was just, and when you guys are in there, there's no bad blood. Obviously, you guys know it's like
we're making jokes the whole time.
Yeah. And
they shared a water with me.
I saw you raising the roof. You were doing something, and then you were dancing. You were like.
So the crowd was just kept talking to me, so I just kept keep doing the because they kept asking me why I was in there, and I just didn't want to give them the whole spill, so I just kind of kept doing the motion of me just overshooting BJ.
Yeah, and BJ's right there. He's like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, but me and BJ were like it was squashed as soon as we were out of the nets. Like there was no longer
sports.
Bad blood.
Yeah.
And then Clint came over there and we were still joking. And then so when they cut to the pits, like you could see Mark was trying to call the line and he kept calling BJ and Clint.
Oh,
because that was obviously his 5 that he kept running with.
Yeah.
And then when they weren't there, it was kind of like it started to rattle him too, which was honestly surprising to me. Watching because he honestly said Clint, and then you could see that he was frustrated with the situation. And then the next point, they got a minor with the 2-on-5. He got a minor. I think it was ice.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say obviously we played well and we did what we needed to do, but Diesel definitely played with a lot more emotion than they should have.
Yeah. And I hear you and the squad talk about this this quote you guys say is find a way to win. I hear you guys say that quite a bit.
Yeah.
What does that mean, to the organization when you guys say that to each other?
So in the beginning of the year, we felt like we had a lot of, we struggled with in the middle of a point, kind of not just communicating or not just talking to each other, actually communicating about winning the point. Like we felt like we were closing poorly. So the whole event, this event, we were just talking about doing that, closing correctly, and then also keeping level heads. Cause not to throw any shade, but the first time that we beat Dynasty in Texas, it felt like everyone was super overconfident the next day. We felt like no one could beat us, but we were so overly confident that we lost 7 points in a row. Didn't win another point after we went up 2-0 against X Factor or whatever it was. I can't remember, but we lost a bunch of points in a row. And we didn't want, I kept going to the pits every single time that I was playing, saying level heads. And then when I get too hyped, it's Scott for me. It's when I get too hyped, Scott's always we're not happy, trying to calm me down, trying to keep us level. Yeah. We don't want to be too high, too low. We want to stay level.
Amen. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's it right there.
But it's typically me and Scott. We're the ones that are trying to keep the boat level.
Yeah. And it's not an easy chore. It takes conscious effort and dedication to that type of a culture within the pit, right? And making sure that that's a cornerstone of how we're going to move on the field, off the field.
Yep.
And it's something that, Dynasty, when I was with the squad and Rusty Glaze was coach, that was a mantra that we would always say to each other: not too high, not too low, like a train just moving straight on through. It's very important.
Yep. So then that was that. And then we're whole weekend, we're just level heads. That's our thing. We're just trying to keep level heads, keep it moving. And then, so we talked about the Diesel match, and then, also shout out to our pit crew. They make it 1,000 times easier.
You
like
guys
with
have
all
an
the
insane pit. The
oh
paint,
yeah,
the coolers,
it's insane. And like they do everything. Like it's Sarah and JD, mom and dad, and then Jay and his wife Lacey are like the 4 main ones. And then we have like some like divisional guy that comes by. This weekend it was like Chris, divisional guy that helped us out. But like those are the 4 main ones that are always with us. And then we also have Rob, Sponge Rob as we call him, because he's a little crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I want to talk about that for all the people out there who don't know the Paintball Fit story. Talk about the owners, the family, the team, the park. If you don't know out there, Paintball Fit is an amazing park in Texas and has a superb family that has built this entire organization and has gone through some really tough times as well. And that's part of the story as well. And so kind of dive into that for us.
So Sarah and JD obviously own the park, and then Johnny Lucal, and like all 3 of them are it's kind of their baby, I think. The Johnny Lucal is the oldest brother. But they run the park, and then like they're just super giving people. Like when I first visited there in January for like one of their practices, they literally gave me one of their cars to drive because I didn't have a car. So I was driving to practice in one of their vehicles. Like that's how much they give to their players. And then like at the field, they have free waters and free snacks.
Dude, I went out there for a clinic in like 2021, and yeah, the pro shop is set up with free waters and snacks and all that. I'm like, you guys are just giving this away, JD? This is like for anyone or just people at the clinic? He's like, no, anyone. If you come, you play at the park. Yeah. We don't want you to have to worry about waters and snacks. And I'm like, that's crazy.
I'm trying my best to get them to start doing spring water, but they're stuck on the purified stuff.
It takes time.
Yeah. Well, I bring my own water in my little little water bottle.
Yeah. Your metal thermos there. That's smart.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like we have 3 fully turfed fields. They run a bunch of events. We do the glow ball, stuff like that. Like they do a lot for the players. Like the free snacks. Like we do the events where the pro guys that fit either coach or we play with them. Like we try to do a lot for the people that obviously they help us, so we want to help them.
Totally.
So like we did like a 7-man where we played with the people, with the other 6 people, like the pro guys. So that's fun because like obviously we're so competitive that we want to win, and we don't want to lose to our friends. That's the worst thing ever. So like we're really trying to win. So we're helping these divisional guys, teaching them like stuff that we think is second nature, but these guys obviously like divisional guys don't think of. So like for example, in this like 7-man, I'm shooting 2 bodies off the snake side in mech every point. And I'm trying to explain to these guys that are in the snake in front of me that you really, really need to crawl down the snake so that we don't lose the point on the D side. Because I'm going to shoot every single pod in my back to make sure they can't come out wide on you. But they weren't getting it, unfortunately.
Yeah, and they're setting up like a 1-word code that lets them know. Yeah, totally. We've got an elimination.
Has that stuff, but I'm trying to teach them the code, but they don't understand.
It is. And these are those principles and concepts that take your team to those next levels, because what does it all come down to? Efficiency, right? We got to be efficient. If they're more efficient and have time to make those moves out and we don't trap them, they're back in the game.
Yeah, we have so many codes. It's ridiculous.
That's exactly what I just wanted to ask. I would be curious to see how in depth your guys' code book is.
It's very in depth. I don't know if I'm gonna get slack from actually saying we have like color zones, and then obviously
you don't have to say the terms, right? But about how many different codes do you think you have? And what I mean by, just to give a definition for it, like a 1-word kind of term that means, either a zone or
30 at least.
Okay.
Maybe more.
Okay.
Like we have situational codes too, like that we use for certain layouts too. So like we make new codes for certain layouts. But
totally.
like I think 30 is probably a good number. That sounds right.
Okay.
Obviously, like I'm trying to go in my head and remember all of our codes without the situation happening. But
yeah, no, I mean that's still a good amount. It's coaches simplify everything.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, like we have zone calls, we have calls for shooting certain bunkers when you're in certain spots.
Right.
Like we have a code for basically everything. It's what it feels like.
Yeah.
I should have one of the little
quarterback sleeve things.
Yeah.
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 No, I don't know by now. I'm kind of screwed though, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got to do your homework, and it's imperative for your team to have success to have a really strong code book, because there's all these unique situations that are going to happen. And once again, if you aren't as efficient as the other team in processing that information and getting through that bulk, they can make moves, they can make decisions quicker, and the game slips away from you. So having a really deep code book is very important.
I mean, we also have like we change the codes. I mean, I wouldn't say change the codes. We try to perfect them. So like if we think something's not coming out, like so for some reason people weren't hearing the double Lucy or double Ricky, they weren't hearing the double part. So we made a new code for it.
Yes, that's right.
So like double Lucy and double Ricky is like the standard thing for right and left for people who don't understand.
No, an elimination off the left is usually Lucy or laser or something with an L, and an elimination off the right is usually Ricky, or we use Rocket. It's no secret. Yeah.
Like most of the pro teams are going to know what you're meaning by it.
Totally.
But like, I just wanted to explain it for the people who don't understand.
Of course. Yeah.
The nuances.
Yeah. Totally. All right. So let's do the finals, man. You guys are playing Impact in the finals of the World Cup.
Impact, and then like that first point, it was very long. And I'm like, I'm in that corner for the whole time. And I'm like, I'm just keep rolling my gun. And then I don't know if I shot JC or if it was Chavi from Crossfield, but I felt like I had a really good snap. And then I guess Chavi might have shot him as well, but I think we just pinched him out. But that first point, I think we were as a 3-on-5. So like similar situation to what happened in the damage match against us. It's like we were low bodies. We brought it all the way back to a 1-on-2 with me and or a 2-on-1 with me and Chavi. And then I felt like I shot, I think it was Laval running down.
It looks like it on the webcast. It looks like
something. But like I'm inside and I see him launch.
Yeah.
And I'm shooting at him the whole way. And then I see the penalty flag go up, and I already felt like we won the point.
Totally.
And like I see the penalty flag go. Yeah. And then they say it's on us. And then when Jason reviews it, because like they didn't really talk about it in the on the webcast, but when Jason reviewed it, they said Chavi, when like they shot each other at the exact same time, and then Chavi just like went in and then went out one more time, and just he kind of just overshot him. So like instead of a major, because they traded, they turned it into a minor, because like they traded with each other, and like he comes into the bunker. And like he comes out one more time, but like I don't understand why that would be a major.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Anyways, it's
what they decided.
Is what it is. That's what they said, and then they turned it into a minor, because I don't think Jason could go back and say a penalty didn't happen.
Correct.
So like they turned it into a minor, and it kind of made both parties happy.
Yeah.
No point, time's off the clock.
Right.
And then they end up winning that point. And then
I bet Impact wasn't happy, because they were like, if it should have been a major, he shot me with a hit. Chavi shoots Nick with a hit on him.
Yeah.
But it should be a major. It's their point.
If they're reviewing it and they're like, it was a trade for sure.
Right.
And like, we can't say it's not a penalty anymore.
Right.
We're going to turn it into a minor.
Damn.
And then make it a no point. And then I feel like that would have been like, Impact would have been like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want to agree with you right now, but it's not. They didn't get the point.
Right.
Because like if they would have gave us the point, I feel like Impact would have.
Oh, that'd have been.
We would have sat. They would have sat on the field for 30 minutes until they reviewed it every single time.
Yeah.
But that next point, we actually changed where I was going up, and looking back now, I still don't agree with the call, but it's what was told for me to do, so I did it, obviously. But like they were shooting. Who did you guys have going up to that wedge?
Archie.
Yeah, they were shooting Archie every time he went up.
Yeah.
And as soon as they told me to do it, like I had confidence that I would make it, obviously. But like as I'm going up, I get shot in my knee, and I didn't want to do what Archie did and try to slide it off.
I didn't see that. So I'm pleading the fifth until I watch that. But yeah, that was
I did watch it. I'm pretty sure he got shot in the knee and just kind of kneeled on it and kind of just try to shuffle forward.
Damn.
Unfortunate. But
yeah, unfortunate.
I got shot in the knee and I just called myself out because I had faith in the other four boys behind me. But it is what it is. Like we lost that point. We lost the next one. And then so for some reason on that side of the field, the towel button was not working. Like we couldn't concede when we wanted to. So like every single time, like, so when that first, I think it was the first point that Impact got, we were, as soon as Scott died, we were trying to towel when it was a 2-on-5 or 2-on-4 or whatever it was. We were trying to towel that whole time and it just wasn't working. So then we had to go verbally towel to the people with all the not stupid fans, all the fans yelling right there.
Yeah, it was pandemonium.
Stupid is just annoying because we couldn't get it to the score table.
Yeah.
I shouldn't call them stupid.
All your fans, dude. You just,
all my
totally
people.
shit on all your people,
including my girlfriend and my sister that were just screaming their head off every time we got a kill.
Yeah, it was lit. It was popping off. The stands were going crazy. The VIP was going crazy. The whole thing was insane.
So then we're down 2 with a minute, and then I'll tell you something after the fact when we're off the air about something that's kind of funny. But I don't think it should be scared on air.
Oh, come on. No.
No, I don't want to shit on people.
Damn. Okay.
But just remind me afterwards when we're done with this. 100%. Okay, so we're down 2 with a minute left, and then
he'll share it in PTG world if you're in the Discord.
Sure,
get the action.
We can do that. Yeah, in the GOAT squad, you got to pay for that, right?
There we
Let's go, baby.
So we go down 2 with a minute left, and then I sit myself because we had the man that wanted to go anyways. That when we put him in the snake, he's going to go to their side. So we put Brody and Scott in. Scott runs and guns out, and then he goes straight to the snake shield. Shout out to Rennie again. So we make both spots, and then they crawl down and get the first point, but with also Colt and them shooting people going up the center. Once they shoot their quick shots in their lanes, they go up, and then we do the same thing the second time. And then once we won that, I knew we were winning.
What's the sentiment like with a minute and 7 seconds left? What's the sentiment with the team? How's everybody like talking to each other, feeling going into that?
So I feel like we get where we want to go, and then the players when they're getting out to the box, because like obviously it's X-ball, so you don't have much time. When they're getting out to the box, they're talking about the nuances. Like the coach isn't telling them what they want to do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like you're coaching a D5 team where you're drawing the exact route that you would want them to run. Like these guys are experienced and they know what they want to do and how they should feel like they should do it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, we want you to run here, and from here you kind of create how you want to create.
Yeah.
But so we get those 2, and then they wanted me to go up the center again. And I absolutely told them, no way. I'm going to dive to this Aztec, and I'm going to go from the Aztec once they stop shooting that shot up. So I dove there, and then I went up from that spot because I knew once I made that spot, they wouldn't shoot that zone anymore. There's no point. They don't think Colt's going to leave, right? They think the D side body's going to leave. So they're shooting that D side cut. So I go up from there, and then I'm just staring at the inside of this snake 3 for what felt like an eternity in this overtime point.
Yeah, you're waiting for JC.
I'm absolutely waiting for JC. And then I see literally the top of his little, like the little flaps that people can put pods in, the extra slots.
Yeah.
I see the tiniest bit of black as he's going to the snake 3. And I'm like, oh yes.
I know. And the fact that he came up unassuming that he would be in that spot was crazy to me.
So I'm putting myself in his headspace.
Yeah.
You can wrap that spot and you can watch him crawl around the what we call the snake 2, that juice box. You can watch him crawl around that. But I was rolled off only playing the outside.
Set the trap. Yeah, so but JC, he's so experienced, and he had a hell of an event. He was he probably would have been
I'm just thinking he's thinking I'm one more spot back instead of up there.
Yeah, well, of course, that's what he was thinking.
Process.
I know. But like as a snake player, you have to go through, especially in those moments, you have to go through the whole checklist.
Yeah.
You just do. Because it's as easy as just like literally peeking up really quick rather than collecting yourself and coming out and bypassing a bunker. Yeah. You know, he bypassed a bunker in the checklist.
And it was a great
move.
His barrel to come out. I as soon as I saw the edge of his goggles, that's what I shot.
Yeah.
Like as soon as he's starting to come out to snap at that, he might have been coming out to shoot directly where I was.
He wasn't. He wasn't.
Okay.
You can see on the film, he's like set up more inside. So he wasn't assuming that you were there, which was such a mistake. Whereas if he played it like go through the checklist, I don't think you shoot him because you could just quickly check. You would have had to put a miraculous ball. Maybe you do. You would have had to anticipate it before you saw his goggle.
Yeah.
And it was also a phenomenal play by you because, again, just a little different than what you had been doing. You totally set the trap and played to what you thought he was going to do, you know, and connected on the shot. That's like probably the hardest part of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's huge shout out to GI. Their paint was excellent this weekend.
Dude, 10 out of 10 from the hip.
Yeah.
from the hip.
From you, that's a tall drop, brother.
Oh, it wasn't me. It was one of our kings. We don't call them short kings around here. We call them kings.
Okay.
Hey,
nice.
Let's go.
Nice. All right. Anyway, sorry. Back to a big moment.
I shoot JC, and then I think we already shot the Dorito guy. So Laval wasn't up the center. I knew that. So he's already stuck in that spot, and then we shoot. I can't remember who was in the center. I'm like brain farting on the names of the people that were there, but we shoot that center guy, and then shoots the snake corner. And so I know our kill count just by the amount of screaming that's going on every single time we get a kill. So as soon as I hear the screams, I know where the two bodies are. And I literally just wrap the edge of that bunker and I see him walking out of the snake corner. So I know that the next person's right in front of me. So I just kind of just run at him.
Yeah, it was Zupa that was in that small Aztec in the center. I think that you're talking to.
Well, I think he went to the wedge.
Yeah.
And then Chavi.
God, and then Chavi made the best shot ever. I'm in the VIP watching this whole thing go down. And Mikey just needed to hide back there, man. And he gave him, I don't know, he was just looking too much, looking around too much. He just needed to dig in there and got that shot in on his arm. But it's really a tough spot in that corner. I understand.
Yeah, and they were down bodies. Like that was a tough position.
Well, they'd only shot one of us, but Scott
it was 2-on-4. Yeah.
Well, it was kind of a 2-on-3 because Scott core sampled. And before I made the move from the Aztec up, he asked for a squeegee, but I was already moving.
He's like, "Yo,
I wasn't throwing it back to him."
Yeah.
Hey, you got a squeegee?
I was already gone.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a 2-on-3, but thankfully they didn't know that, right?
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, and then it was
really funny.
So why'd you overshoot Nick like that? Because Nick's the man.
Nick is the man, and I actually really like him, but it was just kind of in the moment that it
you were just feeling yourself.
I was feeling myself.
I was like, damn, he's the bad guy now. Cyrus is now the bad guy. He's the villain of the league.
You got to think the two people that like were kind of my mentors are Stephen O'Mara and Rainey.
Jesus,
like I'm the kid of Stephen O'Mara and Rainey.
Yeah,
you're just gonna get a guy that's kind of mean.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, what are we talking about? I'm not going out onto that field to be friendly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
course.
It's like,
I'm a very nice guy if you actually talk to me, but
off the field, yeah. I mean,
most of the time on the field, I'm pretty nice too. Even like when we're crossing paths, I'm pretty nice to people still.
But you know what I mean? Like, when you're in there, it's war.
Like I'm smiling underneath my mask the whole time. I'm just having fun.
Of course. Yeah.
Obviously, when it's the last guy, I mean, I probably should have been nicer, but I didn't want to get a penalty.
There's so much emotion going on right there in that moment. Overtime World Cup, the crowd is going crazy.
Yeah,
you're about to take down Edmonton Impact, one of the best teams of all time, and they were playing so well. They made near zero mistakes against us. They made near zero mistakes against you guys, and you guys just kind of outplayed them. I can only imagine just like that feeling in that moment. Man, just incredible.
I wasn't even really doing the "Are you not entertained" thing. I was just kind of taking in all the screams because like it felt like I was playing Friday Night Football at a fucking college stadium. Like it was insane. I wish I had a decibel reader because it felt so loud.
Dude, it was going crazy. I was holding my head in the VIP like, what just happened? This is insane. I get the chills just thinking about it. It was a moment. It was a moment that will go down in the history of paintball forever, and a true stamp in the game to win the World Cup. And your guys' rookie pro season is unreal.
And then I already got some nice photos and videos of me and Colt kind of embracing at the 50, because that was a pretty cool moment as well. And like when he wanted me to join, he actually said that we're gonna be the next dynasty, and then like that's what he said when he gave the hug, because like we kind of did the thing that you guys kind of set the path, or the dynasty guys, like the living together and playing together all the time. Like
absolutely,
that's the thing that he said. And like it's crazy that at the beginning of the season he said that, and then it feels like it kind of came true. I mean, we got to win more before anyone starts saying stuff like that. But
but dude, what you guys just did, you guys didn't just go in and win Vegas or Texas or Chicago or Atlantic City or any other event. You guys just won the World Cup. That is when you get every team at their absolute best. It is the toughest event to win in the entire world. It is the most memorable, the most meaningful. And when you look up at those banners, Fit's going to be a banner up there. There's not many teams that have their banner aligned.
And I don't want to be one of the teams that only has one banner up there, right? I want to definitely have more up there.
Yeah, of course. Totally get that. Man, incredible job, Cyrus.
Awesome.
Honestly.
And then whoever got my pod pack, if you want to wear it, you can wear it, or I can sign it for you. Because I definitely did the Ryan Green.
Slow your roll, dude. Sign it for you. People want your autograph now too? Jesus. Whoa.
Dude, he's got it's Cyrus the Virus, dog. He made a moment. He made
the thing that oh my goodness.
Come on, you got it.
Matty Marshall. The other thing he was calling me the menace of the middle.
The menace of the middle. Dude, you were
okay, hold on. So have you ever seen the movie Con Air?
Yes. Cyrus the Virus. I do get the reference.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I have so many nicknames, it's actually ridiculous. I got Cowboy, Billy Ray. When I tell people how to spell my name at like Starbucks and stuff, I say Cyrus like Miley. So like I got Cyrus the Virus, Billy Ray, I got all of them, Cowboy.
Well, just keep working hard with the squad, man. We're very excited to watch you and the team continue to develop the skills and keep pressing into the 2025 season. And it's going to be a very captivating offseason. I think there's a lot of things that are going to be shifting and moving around on this 2025 offseason. So we're excited to document all that as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think any changes for Fit, or you guys plan on just keeping the same group and same process?
I think same group unless someone crazy wants to join, but they got to be able to move to Texas and work hard. So that's like the two rules.
I love it, dude.
And you got to have a winning mindset.
Yeah. Outstanding. Love that.
Bingo, brother.
Bingo.
Oh yeah, Cyrus, dude, this has been epic. As you know, we have a ton of Discord questions. Do you mind if we hop in there? I don't know if you cheated and got a sneak peek at the questions.
Of course.
Nice. Okay, first one is from E Lambs. He wants to know, when are the Hydra cowboy hats dropping?
I mean, JD already the really big he already like makes those into cowboy hats if you want them.
Okay.
Like
there we go. It's out there.
Dude, they're cobblers. Like they fix shoes at their other business. So like they're handy with their hands.
Yes. All right, you can go get them. Get them now. I'm just gonna start with verbs. Verb always has his classic question. What is your favorite food and favorite place to eat it at?
Gotta be Jimmy's. We eat Jimmy's like every Saturday and Sunday as a team after we're done practicing.
All right, let us know. What is it?
Dude, it's just like this hole in the wall place that like we can go, and it's like never really busy, but it's like mediocre food, but like it's never busy. So we never feel bad for stinking and like just yapping for hours.
What kind of food?
It's just like burgers and wings. But like I go there and I get wings, and then I get I get them with buffalo sauce, and then I get a side of lemon pepper, and I like kind of throw the lemon pepper on there, and I throw my ranch, and I eat them.
Nice, dude.
There we go.
Yeah, we ain't fancy around here.
Yeah, bro, you're a simple man. Easy.
That's good food. That's good food.
Yeah,
Right
All
there.
right.
burgers and wings.
Yeah.
Mark Paris wants to know, Cyrus, what it feels like going from that skinny dude on dynamic wrecking shop and divisional to the MVP of the best professional paintball team in the world in the span of a year.
It's kind of crazy. Like I don't even feel like I'm much better than I was then. Like, as crazy as that sounds, like obviously, like looking in the mirror, I'm sure if like other people watch me play now, like they're like, I'm 20 times better. But like it feels like a slow progression of just consistently getting better throughout the year. So like I don't feel any different, if that makes sense. But like obviously I'm playing at a much higher level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people always say, oh, it's an overnight success and this, that, and the other, but it's you applying all that effort for countless years and years and years, and then boom, it pops, and then it looks like overnight success, but you've been applying yourself to this relentlessly.
Like Vegas, I didn't play at all. Then Texas, I play a lot actually, because we figured out how to shoot the snake side with me being so tall and trying to kind of controlling that side. But like I didn't play that center aggressively as I probably should have, because I felt like my shot was so good. So like then going into AC, I played the center again, kind of played it kind of poorly in my opinion on the first day. And then because it was a blind layout, of course, I'm a new guy, I'm kind of learning. But then like the second day, I felt like I played it much better. And then Chicago I played the D side back. So like I was kind of just trying to support Chavi best I could. So I didn't really go up the gut, but I had some big moments there. But like we're just kind of I felt like I built on everything. Every event, I felt like I played better and better. And then I literally started from 0 at Vegas, and then sitting, I don't know, 4 or 5 points at Cup.
Yeah, man. Way to go. We got Jay Lamb. He's a GOAT in the Discord. If you want to check out the Discord, go to our website and join the Patreon. It's a lot of fun in there.
Networking.
Yeah, dude. Cyrus, congratulations on the win to you and all the boys. Did you think you would get the MVP hardware? What was the moment you guys knew you would win the event? He said his was when you beat the Russian Legion.
Honestly, to answer the last question first, I woke up that morning telling my girlfriend that it just felt like it was going to happen. And then I think Colt actually did the same thing to his fiance, Madison. So like, I feel like from the beginning of the day, we kind of had the feeling that we were going to have some fun and we were going to, excuse my language, fuck some people up. But
yeah, set the intention.
Yeah. And then, sorry, I completely blanked on what the first question was.
Oh, did you think you were going to get the MVP hardware?
So I felt like I had a very, very good event, but like you can't win an event with only one person doing good. So like Chavi had amazing moments. Scott had amazing moments. Obviously, I can't do what I did without Colt and Trenton shooting bodies off the break and making it where people can't shoot at me, right? So like I feel like the whole team should have got the MVP if that was a thing.
Yeah, dude. No, you're right. And this is something we talk about, me and March, all the time, is like, if you're going to win an event, every single person has to have moments, and like it's going to happen at different times.
Like the certain things set up certain things. Like it's a cascade. Like I can't do what I do without the support of the 4 other people behind me, right?
Absolutely, team ball.
And then even more behind there, like the people like Johnny that honestly he could very much play. He's very, very good still, but he takes a step back and helps us behind the scenes more, helps our mindset, keeps our minds straight, and then also helps our coach Casey with the IQ wise stuff and like personnel, like the insight. So like they're both coaching basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes everybody.
Yep, takes an arm.
All right.
Yeah.
UTD Justin wants to know, what does your pre-game ritual look like? A lot of guys, including myself, are superstitious before going into a big game.
So I mean, before, like I'm a pretty religious person. Like my family owns a church, so like before every single day, obviously I pray, and then as I'm going to the field, I pray in the porta potty again while I'm getting the morning, what's out.
Yeah.
So I pray in there again while I'm sweating my butt off.
You pray that you'll make it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do a pretty lengthy prayer about myself, how I would want people that don't believe, but like someone to help me kind of work through the day. I won't go too much because I know it's not everyone's belief, but
It's your belief. People are allowed to believe whatever they believe in.
but like
you know?
I pray that I have like that God helps me have confidence, that I'm not arrogant, that I play with integrity.
Yeah.
You know, that I have wisdom in every move, that I thank him for every opportunity he's given me, every opportunity that I'm gonna get. And then I pray that I have the eyesight and wherewithal to see the opportunities that are in front of me in the moment.
Man, powerful.
And then so like I keep reiterating that throughout the day. And then like before I play, I do the as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you're with me. I say that one over and over again. And then as I'm about to walk on the field, I say, as I walk through these nets, I fear nothing and no one, for you're with me. Thy rod and staff, they comfort me. Like that's my thing that I say. As soon as I feel any nerves, that's the thing that I say to myself. As I walk through these nets, I fear nothing and no one, for you're with me. Thy rod and staff, they comfort me. As soon as any nerves hit me, anything like that, that's the thing that I guess it just makes me feel confident and ready to go to war.
Incredible, dude. Man.
Yes. Let's go.
And then obviously we give the high fives at the box. And then me and Scott have a little handshake that we do.
There we go.
The little low five and then the fist bump.
Nice.
And then he likes to change it up. Like we'll do it really, really hard. And then he'll be like, all right, we need to calm down. Let's do it soft this time. I'm like, okay, buddy. We're getting too hyped.
Dude,
Nice.
enjoy it. Enjoy those moments. You know, they're timeless. Panda, another GOAT. Let's go, baby. On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult was it to wrangle in Johnny after Sunday's win? Or maybe it was Brody, but he said homie was on the run from y'all when I saw him.
Oh my goodness. So like I said, without eating any food or drinking much water, alcohol tends to do alcohol things very quickly.
Yeah.
So, Brody was like in his underwear back in the booth, trying to no longer be in his underwear and run away from us. So,
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So we put a medal around his neck and we sent him back to the house.
Yes. Smart. There we go.
And then we broke down the booth by ourselves without our muscle man.
Yeah. Yeah, he was all muscled out. He was
Yeah.
ready to go back home.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Rounder wants to know, Cyrus, how did it feel when you bunkered your former coach Rainey in the damage game and he got a major?
Oh, that was awesome. So like I go through the first time and I get Chad. And then I gun battle Rainey and I'm like, oh, he's gonna want to come get me. So I come back and then he comes back and he shoots the spot that I was in. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna be rapping now. So I go and I stick him and he's like over the top, and then he just tries to squeeze one off on me. And then of course I cry about it, as people in the comments would say, but I'm just trying to sell it to the ref at least. Hope they saw what I felt happened. That's so hard, by the way, to not bitch when you feel like a call went your way.
It's so hard.
It's and then like afterwards, I'm like, damn, I really did sound like a little crybaby right there.
Yeah, it was in our aftershock game, A-Rod came through the middle and bunkered oh God, who did he bunker from our team? I forget.
It's okay, you can continue.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But like I shot him before he got to the pin. It was that big brick on the Dorito side. And like right as it happens, I'm like, please, someone saw that. And then sure enough, nothing. And you know, I end up getting shot. We lose the point. As I'm walking back, it was like, so I'm like, I'd want to be complaining about this, but one, it looks terrible. Two, sometimes the refs just miss stuff, is what it is.
It's so hard.
And like, that is how you start to unravel. And it happened with us against Aftershock in the past. And that's why we lost Aftershock in Atlantic City, is because the team just kind of unraveled. So you can't allow it, but that is definitely one of the
the bounce shot.
There was a few things.
Well, I know that was the one that really did it.
Yeah, totally. And you know, it's just like the things that you can control are how you respond in those moments. But yeah, I was walking back and I was like looking at the refs, like I'm not going to even say anything, but like, oh my God, that was painful to, you know, Really?
Dude, and the worst thing is this event with the corner being so far back, like I kept running out of bounds. I did it at least 3 times.
Oh shit. Yeah.
It was also because I didn't really want to dive into the sand pit
The
that
sand
was
pit,
the
yeah.
corner that ended up being, so I just tried to run a gun, but people would shoot at me and I'm like trying to run further back to get away from their paint. I would just end up super far out of bounds. Did it at least 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be mindful of those feet on that line.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we got Racer X. Every event has been won by the same few teams for years until now. What do you think makes the biggest difference between Fit and other newer, younger pro teams, and what you guys did?
I think it's just the amount of hard work we put in. I mean, like, look at Aftermath. Like, I think they got third in Vegas, but that's another team that they play a lot of paintball together, right? So, like, and then, I mean, Blast Camp probably didn't have the season that they wanted, but they also do the same thing.
Hey, they didn't get relegated. You know, we just lost. We just lost New York Extreme, and Leverage is going to be moving up into the pro spot. So they did what they needed to do in their season.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, like, I assume that those guys. I mean, we don't go to events without the intention of winning them. So, like,
absolutely,
I assume they have the same idea. So, like, an 18th for them probably is not even close to what they feel like they should be doing.
Without a doubt.
I think that's what they ended.
Yeah.
I think they ended 18th. I didn't.
Yeah. It wasn't a strong showing on that one.
Yeah.
Was that the answer to the question? I'm sorry if I rambled.
Yeah, I think that does round it out, and it's the work ethic. You guys, and deeper than that, also in very highly intelligent plays and play calling. I spoke with your coach at the airport on Monday morning, and just shook his hand and told him, "Way to go! Congratulations to you and the guys." And he was like, "Yeah, minute 7 seconds left. I blew the horn because I just something told me I got to do this now so we can have a chance." And by God, you guys did it. You won the World Cup down 2 points with 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the game. It's unreal.
It's unreal to think about that. Like, I was obviously a part of it, but like hearing it said out loud is kind of it feels crazier than it feels to me right now.
Bro, I was holding my head for like 20 minutes like this. What just happened? Yeah. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. That it was unreal. And me and Oliver looking at each other, we're like, bro, what is going on out here right now? This is crazy.
I kept saying, all I could say is, I'm stunned. Like, I was just stunned. That was the only word that made sense. I was stunned. Not so much because you guys won, but again, being down 2-0, 1 minute, 7 seconds to go, fast points are not PB fits. It's not what you guys are known for, Yeah. So we're just good shooters. So why would we risk something, right?
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I feel like the whole tournament, I was the only body that was really the risk. Me playing the dead zone, trying to shoot the shooter so that our snake guy can make it.
Yeah, it's outstanding, bro. And once again, congratulations. And everybody out there, please support this man. Follow him on Instagram. Shout out your Instagram. And also you have your YouTube channel that we want to get blowing up as well. You do a lot through there. So let the people know where they can tap in.
I think the Instagram, let me look at it so I make sure. It's just Cyrus.Garringer. So Cyrus, like Miley, .Garringer, Garringer. And then I think my YouTube's the same thing. If not, you can just go on my Instagram and look at it. But I also have like a gaming channel that I play video games posted on there. Have some fun.
Awesome, dude.
What video games are you playing?
Mainly Valorant right now. I'm kind of addicted.
There we go. Yeah, and we have the gaming channel, in PTG world as well, and sounding off in there. It's a good time. And thank you as well for everything that you do for our community and this show. You've been with us since the beginning, and we absolutely love you and so proud of you on everything that you've made come to fruition. And it was through pure determination and willpower. And that was on full display on Sunday afternoon. Pure determination and willpower to never give up through adversity. And my God, man, you freaking won the World Cup and got the MVP. It's outstanding. So bravo, dude.
Man. And then I'll answer the rest of the GOAT questions that we didn't get to if we don't want to ask those. If we're going too long, I don't know how much.
We're not.
I'm pretty sure there's more if you want to keep asking them.
Yeah, let's
We'll
go.
keep going. I don't care.
Yeah, I did want to ask this one from Blaine. Cyrus, if you had the opportunity to make a team with any past or present players in their prime, who would be on that team? And you could exclude Tyler and myself and your teammates just so it doesn't get weird. So you can like truly make your team if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I feel like it's got to be like Oliver, J-Rab, pretty much every veteran that I can think of.
Yeah.
You got 3 more names. You got to make a starting 5. 3 more names.
Nick Laval.
You don't get to just have 30 guys on your team and just hoard all the talent.
That's what Impact tries to do.
It is.
But Nick Laval, because I honestly look up to him a lot, being a taller guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tyler and Nick were like the 2 people that I watched a lot because I'm so goddamn tall and all there as well. But so like
shout out to the tall paintball players out there. Let's go.
There's few, but we're there. So Nick, J-Rab, Ollie. Gotta go Ryan Greenspan, of course. He's too good not to be on anyone's line. And then who do I got?
You got one more. You have Nick, J-Rab, Ollie, Greenspan.
I got a lot of back players. Fuck.
Sounds like PV Fit.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot everyone. Okay. I get Goldman, I think.
There you go. Yeah, I was gonna say you need a snake guy.
He's definitely gonna crawl down and get in your face. So
yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, nasty. Solid for sure.
And then I guess you 2 can be on the team since you're excluding yourself. But
thank you. We'll be honorary members.
Also the back players. So
Yeah.
I just have so many back players at this point.
Yeah.
I guess I'm playing Dorito attacker.
Yeah, I played the 1 most of the time on the Dorito side the whole tournament and getting down there. But yeah, it's
fun
man,
to see
what
you
a
playing the attacker on your team. Because you did it on Dynasty, obviously playing the 1 on the D side. I mean, you were the 1 on Snake every once in a while too. But like seeing you play the 1 again is nice, especially with you too, Marcelo. Like seeing you get MVPs playing the 1 is nice. Not having you just in the back. Obviously you guys are super fucking smart, so like you want the knowledge in the back, but like you're already on teams that are smart, so like might as well let the boys that got the fucking mechanics go to work, right?
Yeah, get the tools rolling, baby.
Totally.
Let's go. And let's see, we've got Fab in the house, and they've been crushing it with the VR paintball. They actually ran an ad. I don't know if you saw this, March, but
Snapshot VR.
Yeah, they ran an ad and it did really well. It brought in like 13K new installs and 108K over the last 30 days of people getting into VR paintball. It's now ranked number 8 on the MetaQuest store for shooters, and I'm super proud of them for doing that. It's a playground on VR, paintball playground, and they ran advertisements on, I think it was during the NXL live webcast, and it's doing really well. So shout out to Fab.
Nice.
Yeah. Cyrus, congrats. The time of year we all enjoy the roster chaos. Do you think Fit would benefit from adding a top tier pro or 2 to the roster? Also, teams are clearly going to notice your talents. Would you consider ever moving?
So going on adding players, I feel like one, they probably shouldn't have an ego because we're very critical on every single person on the team. Like Colt's definitely the loudest, but we all are just as critical of each other when we're playing. But like they couldn't have an ego, so I think that eliminates like 80% of the pros. And then wanting to work hard and move to Texas, like that's the 3 things that I feel like you have to have to be a Fit. Obviously, you have to be able to win or have the mindset too.
Yeah. So if you want to play for Fit, get ready to move out to Texas.
Yeah.
Waxahachie.
Yeah.
Waxahachie. Yeah. Yeah. We would come out there and play quite often with Heat out at Paintball Fit, and it's just an amazing space. Good energy, great people, great field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then Cyrus, I think that does it mostly. There's a few GOAT questions that you could answer in the Discord if you want. But as for the show, I think we're going to wrap up. But man, dude, Congratulations again. Bravo.
Thank you.
You get to spend the next like 5 months being just on top of the world, but don't get too comfortable. Definitely want to see you guys come
we're
in.
practicing next week, so
I believe it. I believe it. I love it. Again, as we said earlier in the show, I think this is one of the most important episodes we've done in a long time, just because it's a true testament to what Tyler and I preach actually on the show, through hard work and determination, dedication, and really pursuing something together with a group that has a common goal. You know, you aligned yourself with a group that felt and did things the way that you believed in. And it paid off at the ultimate level in the highest point of the sport. So
yeah,
truly incredible, man. And I think you guys have made fans out of a lot of people this year, myself included. Again, I'm just really rooting for you anytime you're not playing us, which we're 0-2 against you. So it looks like we have a tall task to climb the mountain next year. But
I honestly wanted against y'all in the finals. Like, I feel like that would have been a crazy story.
That would have been incredible.
Like, you're trying for your 5-peat and we're trying to win our first one ever.
Yeah, it'd be insane.
That would have been a great story. But I mean,
it was close.
I'm glad it worked out the way it did, unfortunately for you. But
yeah, no, of course. It'd be like that. It is what it is. Again, super,
only one person
super
can
proud
win
of
them
you
all,
guys.
right?
Only one person. Yeah.
Well, keep it up, and congrats again to you and the PB Fit fam, and we will see you soon. And if you ever need anything, we're always here for you, bro.
Of course. Appreciate it, y'all.
Thank you, bro.
All right. Peace, dude.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. If you enjoyed the show, please head over to ptgpaintball.com, click the orange Patreon link in the corner, and support the show. We greatly appreciate it. We have tiers as low as $1.99 a month. That is nothing, guys, and it'll give you access to the Discord, where you get access to the players chat and get to mingle with the entire PTG community. We have tons of different pros in there. Tyler and myself are very active, and it's an amazing way to support the show. We also have amazing other tiers. If you want to be one of the best, want to be a GOAT, sign up for the GOAT tier. It's the greatest way to support us. And each month we do a private live stream show, one-on-one kind of thing, to where it's just the GOATs, and Tyler, myself, will bring in some special guests every now and then, but you get to ask us questions in real time, live on the air, and you get lots of inside juicy news that we don't share on the show. So, as always, we will see you guys very soon.